Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unleashing Potentials podcast. Today's special guest is Dr. Maynard. How are you doing?
All right, so far so good. New day, new day.
Yes, indeed.
We're almost near the weekend, so that's awesome.
Oh, I thought it was Saturday already.
So no, we got a little bit more time, but at least it is the end of the day. No
That's
more
how
work.
far ahead I am.
Yeah, no more work. No more work.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast to share what you do with us. But
Uh,
before I start, can you tell us where you are?
I'm currently in Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we were talking about what the weather was like there. It's
Yeah, well, today is a little misty and rainy, but it is getting chilly now, and we're, soon approaching snowy weather.
Ooh, exciting. Yeah, so Dr. Maynard, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Oh, my name is Dr. Margarét Grant-Maynard. I am the editor-in-chief for I Ascend magazine. We have a new release of a magazine coming, Leveling Up Daily as well. I am a pastor. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an author. So there are a variety of things that I do. But in general, I think the most important aspect is being someone who believes in the importance of each one teach one. We all have some responsibility in the things that we learn and the things that we do. To be able to share our knowledge with someone else that they may in turn do the same.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard that before. Each one, each one. Wow.
Yeah, each one teach one.
Wow, I love that. I'm gonna keep that one for the night. That is so beautiful, beautifully said. So before you wanted to become a doctor, what were you doing and what was your
Well,
passion?
I am not a doctor, a physician of medicine. I have a doctoral degree as well as a Ph.D., which is the second doctoral in philosophical theology. And so that in turn, I'm a physician from a spiritual aspect to be able to deal with the whole man.
Do you also deal with the mind, the process and thoughts?
Yes, mind, body, and soul, the whole mind.
Wow. I'm excited to
From a
talk to
physical,
you
from a
because
spiritual aspect.
that's
I'm
awesome.
excited to share with you too.
Yeah, I've talked to medical doctors. So I think this might
Okay.
be my first interview with a
Okay.
doctor that's not
Okay.
from the medical field. So please guide me as I guide
Yeah.
you
Well,
too.
well, that's very, very funny because I actually work with the hospital. I, for years, was a part of the pharmaceutical industry, in addition to now just dealing with patients and their accounts. And as we kind of do the process through billing and things of that sort and helping them understand their insurance and stuff. So it's funny that I'm also in the medical field as well, but in a
Oh,
different
wow.
way.
That's fascinating. That's really cool. So what was it like for you growing up? Did you always wanted to become a doctor?
I had no idea that I would pursue education as far as I have. However, um, I think going to school always came very, very easy to me. I've always loved to learn. I love, there's like nothing that I'm always down, like even I'm down, let's learn it, like who going to school with me, who going to class. And so I enjoy the process of learning. Um, and when I stepped into, I guess, theology. Because as a kid, going to church with my grandmother and things of that sort, knew and had somewhat of a relationship with the Lord. However, I didn't know at that time that there was such a thing as the field of theology to actually study. And it was in my mid 20s that I began to pursue an education in theology. And it was just fascinating to me that there was more to learn. And I remember seeing I went to a graduation and seeing these women get their cap and gown, and being uh they received their doctorate degree, and they was like, from this day forward, you've been conferred upon as X, Y, and Z, and you know their name. And I was like, oh my gosh. And just to see some of them in tears, and it was like, oh my goodness, I want one of those. I want to know. But and then it was like, as I continued to study, it wasn't hard. It was just a really, really awesome time of studying and getting a better understanding of the God that we serve, and becoming more knowledgeable, that I might be able to share what I have come to learn. And it just, continued on until I actually received that doctor's degree, the first one. And then I wanted the second one, because it was like, for me, it's like I said, I enjoy learning. So a classroom and me, we are friends.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't like math.
I don't like mathematics either. I don't think men, well, I can count money in my sleep. I can do that good math. I can do that good math, right? But all that other math, they can keep all that. They can keep all that.
Yeah. What is theology?
Theology is the study of God.
Oh, okay, okay. Would you say it's also the study of religions?
I would say
Just
it's the study of God, and then all of that will fall under the scope of the religion of Christianity, because there's multiple kinds of religions, and they're going to dive and kind of go into diverse ways depending on that particular religion. So for Christianity, it is the study of God,
Oh,
theology.
okay, I see, I see. Yeah, because I remember when I went to school, they had religion study 1 and then
Mhm.
religion study 2
Right.
and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that may be one of the courses that may be applicable to any religious study, so that you will come to know that there are many religions, and then you just follow your path in terms of what your study is overall.
Oh, okay, okay. I love that. So are you a pastor? Do you teach the
I
Bible?
am a pastor. I've had my pastoral license forever, right? I'm only 22, girl, only 22. So, you know, we're not gonna go how long I had it, but I'm young. So at the end of the day, I had that, as well as I am a teacher. I have the ability to do a variety of things. From a
Mm,
ministerial aspect, I've taught, like I said, I've taught adults. Normally, I teach adults and those who are leaders in ministry. But I think that if you can teach a leader, you should be able to reach anyone. It's just for whatever reason I normally put in a position to be able to teach the leaders on different subject matters, so that they can be more effective in what they do with their congregation, or those who they are overseeing at that time.
I love that. What are some of the amazing, powerful work that you've noticed God has done in your life and blending
Gosh.
it with your work? How has He blessed you?
Again, because of having the ability to speak to the whole man or whole woman, um, and also having the ability to be in the health industry, right? It allows you to uh, touch people and have compassion, because I think, especially in these days and times, people are hurting. People are going through you just never know what people are going through on a daily basis. And you can't be so presumptuous that you think that everybody is in the same place, or you can't teach or
Yeah.
treat everyone the same, because everyone's circumstances is different. So just seeing God move, and being able to bring a smile to someone who may start off a conversation with you in a low place, being able to have a ready word in season. I think that's always important. And God does that over and over again in terms of just my overall life. I see Him moving daily. The things that I do and the things that I've done are not because I'm so great. You know what I mean? Or because I'm so smart, because I have a degree. It's because he has given me the ability to do some of those things, and he, in his uh, favor isn't fair. A favor is to whom he give it, and some he give more to than others. So again, favor isn't fair. And so I would just say favor, opening doorways and pathways. I think about building relationships with people overall, because people may not remember what you did or what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
See, so that's something, how you deal with people, how you handle people. I think that that also brings you back full circle to give people, where people will give you an opportunity to do, open a door for you, share their platform with you, even like now. In this instance, you're sharing your platform with me. I had no idea, this came upon me recently. You know what I mean? So last month I had no idea, but this is the kind of thing. So to me, even on a daily basis, if we look at it from a spiritual perspective, many things that we stumble into are because of someone,
Yes.
I say the Almighty,
Yes.
making a way out of no way.
Yes. Yes. I believe you. Yes. And from my own experience, I've had to at times think that, God, can I help you close that door?
Yeah.
Can
Yes,
I help
yes,
you open that door? You
yes, yes,
know,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
when it comes to podcasting, I don't have education that society deemed I should have,
Right,
to
right,
do what I'm doing. And
right.
but I serve a God that
Yes,
impossible. So
yes, His grace.
step of faith and believing that he will do what he needs to
Yeah.
do through me. So, and I get nervous talking to doctors because I'm like, uh.
But you're doing well. You got this. You got this. This is your program, and it is an awesome title. Your title, it's the Unleashing Potentials podcast. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. I loved it. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, nervous. I was nervous coming on. I'm like, oh yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you. I've had lots of people who love that name,
It
and
is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful
it's
name.
not my own name. You know what I mean? It's something I've
Right.
had to go through to unleash. I'm still unleashing. I don't know what at
Yes.
times, but it's
Right,
coming
right.
out, and I'm just
That's
honored.
okay. That's excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, and you've worked in the criminal justice system, correct?
Yes, yes. Actually, oh gosh, let's see. So in the criminal justice field, I was in pharmacy in a county jail for a couple of years. Then I actually became a correctional officer and worked with juveniles. And their age ranges were really from 13, well, they can start at 13, but many of them are held until they're 21. So really, I think I had more 17, 18, 19, 20, and the ones who are, because they can only hold you till they're 21, and then they have to send them on to wherever they're going to go, or they're going to be released. And what happens is many of them will come in at 16, and it's because they keep acting up. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just
because they keep acting up, they pretty much in their continual acting up, they pretty much will have a problem and find themselves staying longer than they necessarily needed to, because they keep getting into mischievous. They're being mischievous. They keep being mischievous, and so they find their stay a little bit longer than whatever time that they were assigned, which may be a year or less. Yeah, so like I was saying, they're pretty much, with the younger ones who come in at a certain age group, around 16, 17, many times they may only come in with a year or a year and a half, but because of their mischievousness, they find themselves still there 19, 20, and 21 until they have to let you go, or either send you on to another facility, which would at that time, 21, would be an adult facility.
oh wow, that's so young. Um, did that challenge your faith in God? Did
No,
you have
I
questions at the time?
No, no. I found that working with them and talking to them from a positive place, encouraging them. again, having the ability to adapt to your situation and your circumstances, not being a pushover or someone that can be easily budged, because they will try to manipulate you if you allow them to, you know what I mean? Because that's they're kids and they want what they want their way. Um, but I will say that at times, in terms where a challenge was, in my youth, my temperament, right? I say what I mean and I mean what I say.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they would test my temperament. And you'd be like, stop playing with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I found that in times it would be those kind of tests, where you have to remember where you are, remember who you are,
Mhm.
because dealing with that group, that age group, especially, I always, because I mean what I say and I say what I mean, many times I was always put with the rougher group,
Mhm.
right? Because everyone ain't built for that. I would be placed with the, I'm telling the truth. So they would put me with the rougher group
Mhm.
because I could deal with that group
Mhm.
on that group's level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that group, you have to first gain their trust and their respect, not in terms of being a friend, but you're consistent in what you do. When I come in, there's no changing. We already know what the rules are. We're going to follow these rules and we're going to have a good day.
Mhm.
We don't follow these rules,
Yeah.
our day won't be as good as it could be. And so, they respect the fact that you come in, because they're looking for that. They really need that. But if you're scary, you're timid, they can smell it at the gate, and they're going to treat you just the way uh, they're going to treat you that way. So you want
Yeah.
to you want to gain a firm ground in the beginning, and that's the only way you can last. I left because, well, I resigned um, because I had surgery, and after I had surgery, I didn't feel I didn't feel myself. And in that kind of environment, you must be at your best,
Yeah.
because at any moment you're in a situation that can be volatile instantly, and you can't be feeling weak. And I'm dealing with young men, because it was an all male facility. So I'm dealing with young men who are lifting weights and the whole nine, and they towering over me.
Mhm.
I can't be weak in that instance. So they wasn't able to allow me to shift to a time frame that would allow me to still work, or give me that, like say 3 months, whatever it was at that time. They wasn't able to meet that, and so I had to make a decision. I chose me.
Yes. Yes. And was that hard to do?
No. No. Sometimes you have to do what works for you. And knowing that for me, I didn't feel like I knew what I brought to the table. So I'm positive that in my departure, there was a presence lost. And that presence was definitely felt amongst those youth. And within that group, because like I said, everyone isn't built for that kind of especially not with those particular group
Mhm.
of young men, because they were all like gang members and things of that nature. Everyone isn't built for that.
Mhm. Mhm. During your time there, did you ever crack any of them? Meaning that touching a spot in their heart and opening it up to feel, opening it
Oh, I
up to
think they were
love
all them. I
and
would say
all
we're
of
all of them, because when I come in, I tell myself, "You better get out my way today. I'm gonna make. What else? I'm gonna knock the stuffings out you." That would tickle them to pieces. Like, I had these funny little sayings, things that probably other parties couldn't say and get away with, because they were like, "Get out of here," because to them that's kind of cream puffy. They can't be cream puffs. You know what I mean? They can't be Philly in terms of feelings, because you know, they're these gang members. They can't be touched. They're all in their feelings. And so I think that yes, my answer would be yes, and that would be for all of them, because when I come in there, and not just myself, I saw quite a few of the older ladies that would be able to talk to them and reach them. And that's the whole goal, to be able to reach them where they are. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me more about your magazine,
Well,
Ascend
ISN
Magazine.
Magazine, oh my gosh, it was birthed 2 years ago. It is, for me, it's about reaching any and everyone who has a story to tell. It is a lifestyle magazine. We've been very, very fortunate, from our first cover to our present, to have celebrities on the cover. That's great. However, that isn't our real drive. Our drive is to utilize the face of the cover to be able to share about what's on the inside of the cover. And that's going to be for those who have, who are working hard, who are behind the scenes, who are helping their communities, but they really never get the spotlight and the shine. And so we try to bring those parties into the magazine so that they can get that spotlight that they probably would not have any other means to drive them into that kind of spotlight.
Mhm.
So it's been a wonderful, wonderful process, and I'm very, very excited about it. And it's constantly growing. We've had the ability to participate in the Stellar Awards, which is a gospel. I mean, if you've heard of the Stellar Awards and see it on television, we've had an opportunity to do some other award shows, movie premieres. We just really, really have been blessed, and it just keeps on. It's like contagious. It keeps on growing, and so we're excited about that. As I shared that, from that, our I guess one of our taglines is leveling up daily. So it's ISN, but our motto is leveling up daily. And now leveling up daily is going to birth its magazine in January of 2024.
Wow, that's fascinating. So, do you pick a few people throughout the year, every month? How do you choose who goes on there?
Well, the covers are, so it's 12 months in a year, so you can only have so many covers. However, there are times that we'll do double covers or triple covers because it requires it, depending on where we go, going out to various events and things of that sort. Will kind of automatically get those parties who are definitely people that you want to put on a cover.
Mm.
And so that I don't believe those covers are normally going to be celebrities, but as far as who goes on the inside, that's people that reach out. Some people are referred. Some people will email or send a message because we have a website, and they'll go on the website, and there is an area that you can leave a response, and tell us a little bit about who you are. We work with authors, artists, business owners or entrepreneurs. Like, there is no any and everyone. If you leveling up daily, you are ascending, you working, you trying to go where you gotta go, you believe God, or you just believe in what you have, and that it is an excellent. We're here. That's what we do, to give you that spotlight so more people can know about what it is that you do.
Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing. Tell me more about your book. How many books do you have? One or two or more?
Okay, Lord have mercy. All right, so I've been working on it for 75 years. I'm joking, but I've been working on it should have already been released. But unfortunately, I did have a bit of a snag, and my files, I'm rushing, hit something and
Mhm.
lost everything. So fortunately for me, I did have some things, but they were on paper. So now I'm taking it, trying to put it back from paper, back into the computer. There's probably an easier process for me. I don't know. I'm just gonna do what I know how to do so I can get her done. And then that book is Inaccurate Mathematicians.
Mm.
Inaccurate Mathematicians. Whoever counted you out couldn't count.
Wow.
And so that's something that we're hoping to get finished within the next month. so that it can be an absolute positively be ready. January 2024, the latest. I really wanted to get it done in December. It just doesn't look that way because of all the things that keep going on. You're trying to be you only got, yeah, octopus, and even the octopus is limited with its 8 arms. And then I have Porous Deep, exuding a pleasant fragrance or a malodorous stench, because you're either giving off one or the other. From a spiritual perspective. Cobble Stone Heart, Lord, give me a heart of flesh, because a heart of flesh is not that cobblestone. Cobblestone is rocky, meaning that you're hard-hearted. And there's diamonds in the rough, finding the jewels within, where I believe that we all are jewels. I think women will resonate more with it than men. And each one has its own workbook and things of that sort as well. So I got a couple of books. They're all available on my website as well, which is separate from my magazine website. So
yeah, I was thinking January is a perfect time.
Yeah.
Gone to Christmas. We have the Christmas blues and the New Year's Eve blues.
Yes.
If I were to do many things, it would be, just after the new year, when people are feeling very crappy and broke.
Yep. Fresh January. That's the goal. So
yeah, that's awesome. What is your source of motivation?
I would say just every morning when I get up, I'm grateful for seeing another day. I'm motivated just because I get another day. Like I don't move and have my own being in myself. Like there's something there's a higher power that allows me to get up. And that just it's a lot of people, once they close their eyes open no more. So I'm driven just by the fact I get another day, because that means I got another chance to do whatever I didn't like yesterday. I still got an opportunity today to fix it. Anything that I wasn't able to accomplish by the end of this day, if I'm lucky enough, you know what I mean, and the cards are still decked in my favor, then I will pursue whatever I wasn't able to complete today. So I'm driven by just life, just driven by life. I would say that doesn't make any sense to some. It may not make any sense to some, but for me, look back and look over the course of things and just all the things. I can't say that's always been what drove me, but I can tell you that that's what drives me now. When I look and see all of the things that are happening all over the world, people are, there's no place safe anymore. And when you hear the news, to hear lives in an instant gone for no reason at all. People are going to a supermarket and all you was doing was going shopping for the day. And someone decided that day is going to be the day that they're going to cause mayhem and kill, innocent people for no reason at all, just because they're angry or their life isn't going well and their life is gone. So we got to take advantage of each day that we have. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So that's what's driving me now.
Yeah, I definitely see it the same way. Growing up in a poor third world country, I've had nothing, so I know what it's like to have anything.
Right.
It's stupid, the stuff I'm grateful for, but I'm not embarrassed that I'm grateful for them.
Right.
It's like coming from down and up, and you just know which way is the correct way to be. And
Yes.
Yeah,
that's good.
Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, or anything we haven't covered you'd like to talk about?
I mean, I know that our topic was betrayal.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.
well, I know that our topic was supposed to be about betrayal this evening. And I find that when we hear the word betrayal, To me, I think people automatically think from an adulthood perspective, like in their adulthood, and somebody cheated on somebody, or something juicy like that. Like that's the when you hear betrayal, or someone, a friend did something to another friend and backstabbed. This is to me that's the first thing that comes to mind. But if we understand the definition of betrayal, it's going to give you a broader perspective of what betrayal is. I took the liberty of looking that word up. I'm going to read what it says. Oh, okay. It says, the act of betraying someone or something, or the fact of being betrayed, violation of a person's trust or confidence of a moral standard. Right. So it could be the betrayal of a friend, a betrayal of trust, a betrayal of one's principles. So that's to me very, very broad. It doesn't have an age stamp on it, right? Because for me, betrayal has started early on in my youth. You know what I mean? Think about kids, like kids who you got 20 pieces of candy, but Johnny is selfish, right? Johnny want all the candy. Johnny don't want to give him no candy. So Johnny gonna say that it's only 15 pieces of candy because he hid the other 5. I'm just saying, right? So that right there was a form of betrayal. So I just like you were saying that betrayal is pretty much like you can betray yourself. Yeah, your own going against your own feelings. So yeah, we can definitely betray ourselves in what we want to do, and sometimes even finding yourself in a predicament where you are peer pressure and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because I think that even for adults, it shouldn't be, but you get enough adults together and there's a status quo or a majority, you'll find that everyone still will sway to a certain way, even if they probably didn't want to, because they just don't want to be the oddball of something. Or so yeah, I think that that's very, very true. That people kind of betray themselves sometimes.
Yeah. Would you say there's healthy betrayal and unhealthy betrayals?
No. because it is something that's going to go against it. To me, when there is no positive betrayal. Yeah. Betrayal is betrayal. It's something, depending on what kind of betrayal it is. For some people it is very, very devastating, right? Yes. It's very, very devastating. And for example, just if you look at different things that we see on television, people, or just movies and stuff like that, it doesn't have to necessarily be truth. But to see some of the things where people, a good friend sets you up, and put you in a place or position that your life is on the line, that's the kind of betrayal that's definitely not going to be healthy. Can you think of any instances where you would consider it maybe to be healthy betrayal? Because
let's say I know someone and they ask me to keep them accountable to stay on a diet or to exercise, and then maybe I walk somewhere and say that's where I am and I'm not there, but they walk a bit further. So that's me trying to make them do more, even though I betrayed them by saying, that's where you're going to meet me, but meet me further. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's not healthy.
Well, it wasn't a bad one, but it still was good. It was a bad one. Like it wasn't bad, but it was bad. Like because you're using trickery, right? So but now for on the real, like what have they really learned? Because why wouldn't they just be able to get to that destination, period? You see what I mean? Because the goal is for them to be able to get to a place without you using any form of trickery of any kind, but just to say, this is where we're going to meet. So you should be willing, if you're really trying to lose the weight and you're trying to be honest with yourself, I shouldn't have to become unfaithful faithful in the friendship and the truth of the matter, I should be able to tell you what the truth is. And the truth should be sufficient to get us to our goal line.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been betrayed by my siblings since I was a toddler. They took the cracker
Yeah,
from me or something.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And that's what I'm
very young.
saying. Betrayal starts from childhood, like early on. And if we really, really think about it, we don't, because like I said, we've been programmed mentally to see betrayal in such a negative way that it has to be because someone was destroyed, or someone is, their heart has been ripped out, or their life has been forever
Yeah.
changed, and the recovery of it is so that's what we've been programmed mentally. But I believe that if we really, really think about it, we're experiencing some level of betrayal in our lives on a monthly basis, like at work,
Yeah.
somebody doing something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They tell you,
Huh.
some, the people at the fast food restaurant when you went in there, they told you they just made that burger 5 minutes ago. They told you them French fries.
Yeah.
They told you them French fries just came up out the grease. Stop playing. You know what I mean? And you them French fries cold. Stop playing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there's a variety of things that we can look at betrayal from a different window and see
Mm.
that it is more common and happening more regularly than we would think or really consider on an ongoing basis.
Yeah. Yeah. This sounds really bad, but I think at times we are the cause of the betrayals that we face or
All
experience.
right. What when why do you give that thought process?
Could be not having healthy boundaries,
Mm,
not listening to the red flags. We see them, we know they're there,
mhm.
we say
Right.
nothing about them. And then
Mhm.
someone goes on and do what they do. We could have
Right.
not fully prevented, but
Right. Right.
stop it halfway or say something about it.
That's I concur that thought. I do believe I'm in agreement with you that there are instances. Um, I think in some of the more, um, I would say the more personal
Mm,
um, relationships that you have,
mhm.
that sometimes there are flags, and you do not go for the flags because you're sweeping things under the carpet, because it's easier just not to address some things, because maybe you don't want the flag, maybe you don't want to get into tafu with anyone, or you just, because some people are not confrontational, right? they
Mm.
don't they don't want no smoke. Like, I want to smoke, I want to smoke.
Yeah, yeah,
And so yeah, but that's a very, very good point, that I would, like I said, I concur that many times people are in avoiding putting off today, what putting off tomorrow what you could do today or what you should have done today, and
mhm.
not addressing certain things, and then um it just makes it for a harder pill to swallow later on down the line. I
Yeah,
think that, yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
can see where you're going, but some people's circumstances are very, very different, um, and they see things very, very different. Because some things aren't always, So I say that there are some aspects. I'm in agreement with you in some of them, but some things are blind. You are blindsided. Even some of the most worst things, because especially if you are a giver, or you are someone who is loyal, you expect loyalty. You expect, when you're a giver, that people can understand where you're giving from,
mm.
and
That's my cat.
reciprocity, huh?
That's
Oh,
my
they
cat.
can't know. And so reciprocity
Yeah,
is, I think, like, a giver is not expecting you to give what they gave, but reciprocity is key. And some people have no idea that, like, reciprocity, they can't even spell it because they because they do not believe
yeah,
in reciprocity. They're takers. And so a taker in relation of some degree with a giver, the giver is going to get hurt, because that's who they are. That's who they are at their core.
mhm.
And then the taker, that's all they know is to take.
Mm.
And the giver, even when they see that the taker is a taker,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
they are givers, they continue to give. And
Yeah.
so the only way to really kind of balance that is that hard place, and that's going to be the detachment where you just gotta cut, take the knife and take the axe, not the knife, take the axe and
Yeah.
chop uh to get rid of that, because if not, it'll keep causing the giver to bleed, no question.
Yeah.
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 Hard.
I think sometimes betrayals can cause us to become stronger in ways that
I'm in
we
agreement with that.
never
Oh
knew.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh
Yeah, in
yes.
ways we never knew existed, at least in my
Oh
case. The more I got hurt and betrayed, I'm like, I turn into a creature I don't even recognize.
yes.
I'm blocking the next person who thinks they can hurt me or betray me. It's like a shield. At times it's healthy and it's not.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there is the healthy portion of it would be to be able to see certain traits in
Mm,
people, to be able to identify that being, no, that's not good for me because I'm a giver, and you see certain traits, and that comes with time and maturing, knowing what works for you and what doesn't. And I also think it's becoming mature enough that you are able to say no, right? Because sometimes I think we get betrayed, or we find ourselves in that aspect of betrayal because you don't know how to say no or shut something down, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings,
mhm,
or uh, we have 1,001 excuses of why we allow certain things or we tolerate certain things.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but going against our moral codes, now that kind of betrayal, because I think that, like, when I made mention of what the definitions are, there is some things that said about moral codes.
mhm.
um, so what would we identify as someone going against their moral codes? Well, you got a date, and that date, and you go out, right?
Mm,
And that date wants to be in a level of intimacy that would make you go against your moral codes.
mm.
Are you going to go against your moral codes? Because that date can't make you go against your moral codes unless you want to. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah.
So some things we can try to make the responsibility of someone else.
Mm,
But the truth of the matter is, like you said, sometimes we betray ourselves.
yeah.
And in that instance, if you cross that boundary, if you crossed that road, you was the chicken that crossed the road to get to the other side. Right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
then you crossed that road on your own. They
Mhm.
didn't drag you. They may be able to give that talk, because some folk fast talkers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh my goodness, he said I was killed. Yeah. Well, yeah, and now you crossed that road and you've
mm,
entered into a moral issue, right? And you did that to yourself. You did
yeah,
that to yourself
yeah, yeah.
because you could have said, what's that old saying? I've heard it 1,000 times. Don't go into the kitchen if you're scared to get burned, or don't put your finger in the fire. You know what I mean? Don't put your finger in the plug, the
Huh.
socket, the socket. You know what I mean? Don't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are some of the common betrayals that y- you
I've
know of?
encountered. Oh my gosh. I think, because they're like, get one, just one. Yeah, I'm gonna give you one. Okay. When I was in my youth, I remember, and I'm saying again, I'm reflecting back because I want to make it known that it doesn't start in your adulthood. All right. So like I said, was a young gentleman, he was older than us. He was on a football team, and he was dating my cousin, and it was nothing for him to take us all individually on a ride on a bicycle. He had a 10 speed, and we get on there, and it would be fun. You know what I mean? So he would take that one, and he would take that one, he would take that one. He was like the bike dude. You know what I mean? So no worries. We get on the bike. This particular evening, I got on the bike.
Mhm.
And we would go where we normally go. I mean, we go all over the place. Like, oh, MG. Like it was like fun. because I wouldn't be able to in the latter part of the evening to be able to go that far by myself on my bike, right? And so this particular evening though, on the way back, going back towards home, he stopped the bike and drove up in like a driveway, and it was dark. So he put his bike up against the house, and then he came and he pulled my hand to come back where he was or where he was going. And I still didn't feel unsafe or whatever, because I just assumed because it's dark out, you don't want me standing like on the curb area and somebody see me and think that I'm by myself or something like that. However, when he pushed me up against the house and put his hand against over my mouth. So I'm still kind of like stuck, somebody call a tow truck, right? Because I'm like, well, is he putting his hand is he putting his hand over my mouth because we're by someone's house and he has to go to the restroom? That's why I thought he was going to the restroom, you know. Is he going to the restroom and because we're back there and maybe he heard someone in the house moving or something? But then he took my hand and put my hand in his pants. And then I was like, then I'm like, oh, because now I ain't stuck like no tow truck no more, right? Now I'm deciphering, do I start fighting? Because I'm a fighter, right? So, I mean, well, I used to be a fighter. Anywho, do I start fighting? Because this ain't that. Because how we get to, there's so many things at that moment in time when I try to reflect back that was going through my mind, because I don't know, like there's so much happening. Because one, I don't know what's going on. I'm stuck. Somebody call a tow truck, but at the same token, do I go kick into defense mode? What is going on? Because I'm down here. I'm not at home. I need to get back from where we are to where we're going. So there's so many things going on in my mind. And I think I think it was time. It may have also been because of people moving inside the house. He stopped, we got on back on the bike and got back to where everyone was. I got off the bike. I never said anything. I never told anybody anything that in terms of what happened or anything. I went into the house, got me together from a like, you know, if I can't remember now. I don't know if did I cry? I don't think I cried. I can't remember now. You know, because so you're talking about so many years ago. But I do know I never rode that bike again. That because you already told me where your head is at. Now, for me, that's betrayal of the utmost, because you betrayed my trust, right? You betrayed my level of innocence. You betrayed my cousin, right? Because that's was your girlfriend. And I don't know why you needed to do that to me, because I know she was a hot tamale. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She was like hot tamale. So I know hot tamales, you shouldn't, you got a hot tamale, I should not be. But I think what it is now, reflecting back, you had, or that wasn't something that he just decided to do. He was always leading up to that. So sometimes betrayal is what we just deem it as, because now whatever was secret, whatever was hidden has been revealed. But in his heart, he had purposed that thing already.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, my younger cousins, I started preventing them or encouraging them, like, no, I'll ride you and I'll take them as far as I could. But we go do our own bike thing. I ain't getting on his bike. Don't get on his bike. You don't want to get on. You don't want to get on his bike. That's the wrong bicycle. You don't want to be on that bicycle. So that was a level of betrayal for me. That because that's technically that's a form of molestation, right? That's the beginning. That's what that is. Like, even though you may not have touched me, but you still made me touch you. Nasty rat. I'm just saying.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Because the very same thing has happened to me, more than it should have, when I was young, and then, you know, as adult, right? It kind of leads up to it, and we get that gut feeling, which I call our intuition, which we all have. Sometimes we ignore that. It's like a navigation system to protect ourselves.
Right.
We ignore it. But at times we don't have any control of whether we ignore it or not.
Right.
Especially if we were kids or they didn't know what was going on. We trusted that adult or that person
Yes.
to help us find our way. Yeah. Oh, that resonates so much with me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and when I just reflect back, and like I said, that wasn't something that he just decided to do that day. You know, when you reflect back now, no, you had purposed that already. You were just biding time to get me comfortable, right? And like I said, I don't know if it was because of the time, because maybe he didn't realize the time he had driven and gone a little bit longer out the drives because he was still trying to contemplate, is this the right moment? You did a little bit too, because something caused him to change his mind. Right, without going through, like, I don't know what was in his mind. Is if I get on a ride the next time, then that mean I'm in agreement, bruh. Stop playing. Ain't nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even like him that way. I really admired him. Like I said, he was on a football team. I like, you know, like somebody was like a brother. Like, that just blew my mind. So I think that when you start looking at it from the perspective of relationship with people, and you hold them in high regard, and they do that kind of thing, it is not easy to, like, it's not easy to bounce back from. And even to this day, I never understood, like, why or yeah, like, why, like, I never understood it. And I actually had an opportunity to see him about 2 years ago at my uncle's funeral, or wake rather. And it was like, wow, like, dude, like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, because I hadn't seen, you know, in years. I mean, years and decades. And I'm 20. So, all right. So, no, I'm joking. I'm only 20. It's not decades. It's not decades. Right. But it was amazing to see him. And my mom was like, rat. You know, I'm sitting there behind his back, like, a little rat. He does a little rat. But it's amazing. I know that there are those who have gone through far worse. I would be telling a story. I can't exaggerate and say, I've never had anyone take advantage of me, and fully, I would say, that has never occurred or happened to me, because I'm a fighter, probably. I don't know. And, you know, I'm pretty certain others may have tried to fight, but I don't know what their circumstances. We're all, you know, we all have different circumstances that cause us to relate to things a particular way. I just kind of weaseled out of that one, I would say, because I think, again, time, because something made him shift his mind. I don't know what that is till this day. I probably not. Well, if I don't know by now, I probably will never know. You know, but I was able to escape what he had planned.
I so love and appreciate your authenticity to share this with me, because this moves me. The raw parts of our stories, the pieces that makes us who we are, and the pieces that we can go back and ponder and reflect on and honor that part of us. I love that. Thank you so much. Your story resonates with me. I'm not a doctor, but it resonates with me.
You don't have to be a doctor. Like I said, you know, the doctor thing is just education. You know what I mean? I think that life provides education. So even without a doctor degree from a school, just life itself will give us honorary doctorates. You know what I mean? From what you've been through, you know what I mean? No one can tell your story or walk in the same shoes and say that they've traveled the same miles. And like you said, each thing that you've gone through, each a step that you take shapes who you are and who you've become. So you got that honorary doctorate, lifetime honorary doctorate. That's all.
Yeah, I always say to God, give me my certificates or whatever it is when I get in heaven, because I don't want the paper ones here. But
That's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you
Before we
for
wrap up,
allowing me to share.
you're welcome. Before we wrap up, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
Just, overall, give everyone the thumbs up to be you. Be happy, be content in who you are. Don't let anyone make you feel their betrayal.
Yeah.
It had anything to do with you. You know what I mean? If they hurt you, if they have made your life
Mhm.
broken in some areas, I pray that you're healed. That you'll rise up out of that fire like a phoenix and a soar.
Mm.
That you know that even in the moments that betrayal may have been your own betrayal of yourself because of choices that you made, that you can rebound from them. That you can start again, whatever it is. Don't look back on yesterday because yesterday is gone. You can't do anything about yesterday. But if you're granted today, you're granted tomorrow. You have the ability to make those changes, make them, be strong in your mind, be empowered in your thoughts, and press forward. Get around people who are motivated in that same mindset of each one teach one. Get around people who encourage you. Be around people who lift you up. Don't be around or hang around people who are constantly reminding you of yesterday, because again, yesterday is gone.
Mhm.
Find people who believe in your future and your tomorrow.
I love that. Well, Dr. Maynard, thank you so much for your time. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing your heart with us. And
Awesome.
thank you for bringing God's love and light to so many.
All right. Thank you again for the invitation. Make certain that, in order to stay connected, it's going to be www.Margarét, Margaret, Grant, Maynard, Maynard.com, or I Ascend, we going up, ASCEND magazine.com. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
Dating
Thank
blessings.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.